Hello! How's it going? Hope everybody's well. I've just realized I forgot to turn on the lights over here, so one moment. There. That changes the lighting marginally. Hey, Egg Tart. How's it going? Glad you're with me. Along with, I can't actually see the user list. A couple of bots, one of which is apparently called Positivity Bot. That's fun. I like Positivity Bot on principle. You're a good bot, Positivity Bot. Oh shit, that's right. There's one other thing that I need to have open. And it's this one. You can't see what I'm talking about, but that's okay. There. Good lord. My twitching is very cluttered. There's a lot of stuff going on when I'm live. Always lots of stuff going on. Ooh, Spider-Man. I am not going to be playing Spider-Man. I'm going to be playing several different things. Doing well. Going well, also. So first up, a little bit of, I guess, background on what all I'm intending to do here. I play a lot of indie games. Partially on principle. Because, like, there's a certain je ne sais quoi, which is a French phrase for I don't know what, about... All that about? When did that happen? It's fine. There's a certain something to little weird ideas that get turned into games, and that's basically the entirety of the indie scene. That there's a certain something about them, and so I've picked out a few of my favorites from around the internet through time and space. Because I consider myself something of an internet historian, I guess. I have folders and folders of things ranging way back. Games I played, and I don't know, but my memory is really well tuned for like how things led to one another. So like I've got the original Indie Game Jam Ram Bros that eventually became Broforce, and like the three betas that led up to it, because why not have those, I guess. I'll show them off at some point. But that point is not today. Today, I'm, like I said, intending to just play some old indie gems, because they were on my mind. And, yeah, gonna need to leave the volume mixer open, I think. So we are starting with this little thing. I didn't even give any thought to how I was gonna lay this out. Please don't break anything. Great. It didn't break anything. So this is a little kooky little thing. Yeah. Actually, let me go ahead and reset real quick. Just so that you can see this from the... Oh boy, no signal. Save data is stored in the config, so I'll just make a copy of that so that I don't actually lose anything. And, whoops. Info. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. We can now confirm that the Viriax entity seeks to infect the core cell located atop each organ, starting a cellular chain reaction. Citation needed. Viriax entities can even acquire new skills and further extend their limited lifespan by absorbing red blood cells. Conventional medicine can't stop this pandemic, so our last hope lives in new implant technologies. We have successfully implanted NAS units into several infected patients. The nanobots produced should be able to stop the virus using nanoscale weaponry, which is harmless to the patient. Observation of implanted subjects has begun. We should know the results within 24 hours. I'm gonna play a virus. I'm gonna kill this man. This is one of several games by Loco Malito, a prominent free indie game developer. I am bad at all of his games, but oh my goodness are they wonderful. I think this might be the only game that I'm actually kind of okay at. It sort of functions like a scrolling shooter, almost, but as you're noticing, I'm not doing any shooting. I'm attacking stuff like a virus does by landing on it with my little spindlies. It costs an amount of stamina to advance forward, costs stamina to get hit, costs stamina to attack, but each little red blood cell globule I absorb restores some of that. So you can sit around and strategize a little bit. It doesn't cost anything to sit still. It doesn't cost a darn thing to sit still. There's little upgrades you can get, which will go away if you get hit 3 times, because there's the little 3 dots next to the magnet in the upper right there. See? Down to 2 dots. 2 more hits, I'll lose my blood magnet. Very high iron count if a blood magnet is working like this, but it's fine. I'm sure this guy has worse things to worry about, like me! Every 20 level points or so, because like each screen height space is considered a level. You can see that up there. Super jump allows me to attack while advancing, so that's fun. These things are a pain in the dick. Ow! It is very much level-based. There's different organs. Float. Now this is basically just a scrolling shooter. I just kind of ascend, and if I can dodge effectively enough, I don't need to worry about ever losing this power. It's quite interesting this way. Also costs no stamina to float. So that's cool. Shit! But yeah, it's stage-based. There's 6 stages, 6 vital organs. Each one has a different gimmick to it. This first one doesn't actually have a gimmick per se, just to get you used to things. It's the easiest. And then the rest of them get harder and harder and harder and harder, up until you get to the NAS, which is the implant that actually releases all these little tiny robots that I'm fighting, according to the plot that I just read. That place is a nightmare. It's so full of things. Yes, I've completed this game before, and that's why I just cleared the level data so that I wouldn't have all the power-ups from doing so. This little accessory is a cameo from one of Locomolito's other games. It's the rotating options from various shooters like Gradius, basically. Locomolito made one called Hydra, which now has the version Super Hydra available for purchase on Steam, so he definitely made it from his free days, certainly. The old Hydra is still available, and it's both of them are balls hard. I may show you that in a moment. I forget if I brought that over or not. Hydra is a 80s style and 80s difficulty side-scrolling space shooter, at which I am once again absolutely terrible, but it is gorgeous and fun. Oh boy. I should not have charged through that. Jared. My name is Jer. As in Jeremy. Not Jared. Also not as in Jeremiah. You call me that, I'll punch you. Thanks. Well, I made it to the thing. And now this man's organs are having a problem. That problem is me. I infected the heart. You'd think that would, like, be the end of the game, because that's kind of important. That's not my name. So, for defeating the heart, we have more invincibility time. Then there's the lungs, which have air currents, because they're the lungs. This game was on my mind because some of its music is in our intro music set, because it's actually just really great. Oh yeah, the lungs also have bubbles, which give no globules but still hurt to run into. There are also bad power-ups that you can acquire if you're not thinking quickly. I don't. Again, since those are random, I can't be sure if I'm going to acquire one or not. Eggtart, you had asked earlier if it was random or stage-based. It's stage-based, but the layout of the stages is also random. So, like, the stuff that I'm going through right now is not like any playthrough I've had of the lungs before. Exactly. I guess procedural is more the term rather than random. So like that, where I broke open that power-up block but couldn't actually see what it was. If that had been a bad one, that would have been a heck of a trap. But there's stuff like low jump. The stamina power-up just makes you more efficient with your stamina. You still lose stamina on advance and attack, but yeah, like that. That reverses my controls for a little while, which sucks. Good news, the negative powers don't force you to get hit to lose them. They just have a countdown, basically. Ow. I'm having no problem getting hit. Also, the Guardians are different every stage. They get more and more powerful as you might expect. Yes, indeed. If you die, you have to start back at this bottom of the organ. This one's low jump. But you can see that its little countdown already ran out. So, and then reverse controls, because why not? Ow. If you do get hit a bunch, though, they do also turn off, just in case the timer is too punishing. Freeze is weird. It turns a whole bunch of stuff in the vicinity to ice, but the power-ups don't appear with enough regularity to be worth it to me. I'm gonna take this. If I do this well enough, I can hit this guy on both the front swing and the back swing. Because now we're playing Dark Souls, essentially. Or whatever. Which one was the one that made a big deal out of the back swing? First, I guess I should say, because they all did it after the time. Was that Bloodborne? I don't know. I didn't play any of those. You do not have to start at the heart again. Sorry, I didn't notice that. You have to... You basically go back to level select and get to start from that organ again. Ooh, a key and a safe nearby. Whole bunch of score stuff is in the safe. If you happen to have a key when there is a safe on the screen. Hell. Yeah, see, that's one of those situations where reverse goodbye. That enemy just plain disappeared. Now the lungs are mine. Anyway, you get additional points for however much energy you had left. I think you get more points depending on your like Viriac's number, which is like the number of deaths that you've had overall. But for defeating the lungs, we take less damage. We've unlocked the intestines in the stomach. The intestines gimmick is that they're hard to see in because they're full of poop gas. I guess. They've also got like randomly falling things from the top because they're full of other things. At least I think that's this level. Maybe that's stomach. You ever have real bad intestinal fog? Yeah, no, that is this level. They just kind of fall from the top of the screen. But there is a nice little warning when they're about to. So that's not nothing. Whee! Intestines! Ow. Ooh, float. Haha. Float's actually really dangerous in this area because... well, because you can't see where the hell you're going. On account of the poo gas. I assume. The stomach's gimmick is rising acid, so you are stuck to a particular time scale, because if you're in it, you get real hurt real fast. Also, these self-destructing blocks that, when they get touched by the enemies that exist here, start to rain further acid down on you. So that's fun, right? This is the music that we use in our intro reel. Blocks just contributing to the acid below. Sometimes they appear in formations like this where you just have to wait for them. Haha! I just want to show you the first guardian of this stage real quick, and then I'll move on. It's a robotic cold stare kind of thing. Or, vitreous, not cold stare. The other eyeball. Downsides to float. Getting around these. Ow! I really love that the capture card gets the image on screen first. It's kind of pesky. So real quick, we're going back in there. So that I can show you the other two areas without needing to beat the other 4. Or not. Well, that didn't work. Weird. Well, in any event, for defeating the intestines, you get permanent magnet. For defeating the stomach, you get more blood out of enemies. The brain is extremely challenging. You get permanent stamina, and then for defeating the NES, this basically just gives you double damage. It's very powerful. Is there a way I can just like hack the score real quick so I can show you those two? Not really. Well, hell, I guess the score is stored somewhere else. Let me check a couple things real quickly here. No, I think the version of GML that game was compiled with stored points in the registry for whatever reason. So that's not going to work. Oh well. Point is, it's a lot of fun. I recommend you try it along with the rest of Loco Molito's things. Because they're great. Let's see. This should be fun. This also might be stupidly loud. Or it could have exactly no music. Wait. Okay. Real quick. Gonna need to change a thing. Okay. So my chat screen is all fucked up by the way this thing goes full screen, but that's fine. I'm not going to play this terribly long. This is Warning Forever. Interesting little game from, I think, like 2008. Where it's an infinite scrolling shooter that you have this one little ship and you fight these things. Yeah, like that. You have your front cannon. And you also have the aimed cannon, but this deals like 2/3 damage. You have slow movement to try and focus your shots a little bit better. And beyond that, you've seen the entirety of the controls that the player gets. And this game is super neat because I just died to a laser. I feel like an idiot. But I died to a laser, so watch what the boss does. It's got a little bit more laser in its repertoire this time. It also seems to be extending down into my usual comfort zone of directly below it. You know? Oh my god, why? Stop! That's got a new gun now. Okay, I'll cut to the chase. Warning Forever is a game that learns how you play it to become better at defeating you personally. So, like, I died to a laser that one time. It's going to prioritize lasers if I die to them again. I've come very close to running into its bullets before, so it's firing double shots now to try and get me. I've been very much down center screen, so it's building straight down to try and force me out of my comfort zone in order to kill me more efficiently. Going to endeavor not to let it do that, of course, but space shooters and all that, you'll eventually get hit by something. And then when you do, it'll start prioritizing it. It's also experimenting with changing shape, and it's also experimenting with shielding in the form of that little glowy bit. Oh, it's got homing missiles now because it hasn't hit me with anything for a little while. If it manages to hit me with a missile, it'll prioritize missile launchers. If it goes a few rounds without hitting me with a missile, it will improve the missile's homing capabilities in hopes of seeking me out. And by focusing on the core without breaking the pieces off the outside, it's learning to add more parts to shield itself. This time I'll try to vary my strategy and break as many pieces as I can. That it should force it to invest in shielding for those pieces. Oop, shit. It got me with that. So we're gonna see a lot more bullets real soon. Oh god. This is how it ends. Fuck. Alright, well, get ready for a whole bunch of guns. I died like 3 different times to guns. So, look at how much it's investing in Vulcans now. So many guns. Each of them is firing 4 different bullets, so I died to a missile, so there's going to be more missiles. Shit. I died to talking a little bit, and I got distracted. Yes, it's like a boss rush of bosses that are specifically trained to kill you, the player. I'm on the wrong screen size, and I didn't realize it until right now. Damn it. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be the end of me. Two, one. Huh. Okay. Well, I managed to kill it before time was out, but like, we're not even gonna get to fight the Phoenix. Ah, yes. But yeah, it's a nifty little game. It also records notable fights. Your entire last run is here by stages, but there's also fighting particular bosses. Let me see if I can find one of my best ones from previously. I named them so that I'd find them among the recordings, but that doesn't help me so much. Here we go. The Infinity, with a whole ass pile of cannons. The cannons are the name of the gun with the like big blue orb. Had a whole lot of Vulcans at the time also, but you know. we are. I think this was the first time that I encountered the infinity model. The names are procedural, but also, like, there's rules to it. So the infinity is one archetype, the Muramasa is another archetype. Muramasa is truly terrifying. There's basically no screen real estate that's safe with the Muramasa. Look at this fucking thing. Infinity with Terra Beams. I dial a lot to lasers one particular time, and the beams are enormous. This one's just named Oh Dear. Oh dear indeed. I forgot about excellent modifier. Yeah, it got pretty good at its job that time. Here's how the why in what world is scroll not zoom by default? Thank you. So you start with the pure heart, and then based on how you fight and where you stay, it goes to Muramasa, Phoenix, Berserker, Scorpion, Ashura, Hecatonchiere, which I said with a French accent for some reason, but it's not supposed to, the Big Magnum, the Hammerhead, or the Iseone. I've never achieved the Iseone. You need to not die and kill it from all angles, and it will invest in shields the whole way around. It's basically a Death Star at that point. I have managed to see the Catastrophe, but I don't have any replays of it. The Armageddon I've encountered like twice, and then the Infinity is basically just the most common. It kills you from every angle. And the symbols are like generic parts are triangles, guns are the angle bits, shields are the curved ones, and then that's just the forms they take over time. It's a really interesting little game. You can set your own music. There's a thing to make playlists included that it will be able to interpret. It's a fun game. It's an old game. And it directly inspired this game. I'm going to have to do some config bullshit. I'm going to go full screen. Draw. Wait a minute. Sorry, I was doing some projects with this a little while back. Where's the thing about music? Right, there's the thing about music. Okay. I have a whole lot of music that's very copyrighted that I listen to when I play this game. So probably gonna have to deal with this being muted. Or I just can turn off the music. But Wait, Eggtart, are you familiar with Frac Sea? And once again, going full screen completely hells up the other monitor. That's fine, I guess. No, I think I am gonna. Oh dear Lord, my Windows. Why? Huh. Okay, where's the other thing gone? There it is. It's always fun when your windows get so massively effed with that you don't have any idea where anything is anymore. I think I'm just going to run this in windowed mode because it's less dangerous. Oh yeah, and that's basically full screen anyway. Let's go 4:3, and you almost can't tell. So, Frac Sea is inspired by Warning Forever, specifically inspired by the modular nature of the bosses it generates. But in this one, you don't... it doesn't make the bosses. You do. In this, frankly, really interesting, like, programming environment, pseudo-programming environment, the community for it makes the bosses that you fight in-game. This is one that I tried to put together with some nifty tentacly animation. This was one of my earlier creations. There is some actual programming that you can achieve in it. Every individual part has events that you can pile on that execute with particular conditions, change variables, and you can stack these to extreme degrees. This is one of mine with many, many, many phases. I hope to show off some of mine. I think this was my first that I actually submitted to the forums. The forums are long gone now. I don't know if the game is in development anymore. It was a Japanese thing that was fan translated. I think the last version was 2015 some odd. Yeah. 2015 June 6th beta is the last version that I ever obtained. I would like for the community to resurface. Maybe I can bring it back. Who knows? Yeah, you make the bosses, and you can test them out in this and check their programming and everything else. And then throw them at the internet and try to fight them. Okay, this is loud and copyrighted. So that's going to be very quiet. Maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure I'll be talking enough that it won't become a problem. Oh, I also changed my player graphics to be the TARDIS because why not? This is one of the pre-packaged enemies, because its name is in Japanese and doesn't display correctly. Unlike Warning Forever, you do have a health bar, or an energy bar, kind of. The energy bar is your weapons, your engines, and also your hit points. But you are upgradable. This little thing is meant to mimic Vic Viper from Gradius, what with the rotating laser options. Okay, Scythe Bloom, this is one I downloaded. I honestly haven't watched Doctor Who in a fair while. I want to be excited for it, I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm gonna go with yes, but it might be a while before I get to see any. This thing's weak points are constantly rotating, so it's a little bit difficult to actually kill it. Oh, I managed to bust off a piece. There we go. Whoa, what the hell? I managed to turn off the background. There we go. Okay, its core is vulnerable now, finally. Not when you close your arms on me, though. Yay! Another minor enemy with some missiles. Well. This one is all missiles, and once they are spent, it is useless. That enemy's silly. So let's see it again, why not? Oop. Not playing that right now. That was from my development project and is not finished. Though, to be honest, I haven't touched that development project in about a year and a half. I should get back to it. My intention was to create spaceship versions of all the Undertale bosses, because why not? That's why the graphics set originally said Undertale. I took the parts set and edited it down to black and white so that I'd be able to build their faces out of spaceship parts, which sounds a lot weirder now that I say it. This thing's a relatively minor enemy that just has way too much health for its own good. This is one of various starfish enemies. Simple, but effective. I am. Damn it, stop giving me the Toriel prototype. This little guy's just goofy. Just has a bunch of lasers, and that's all he does. This is the same one, but with guns and fire. And music from Mother. Come on, give me one of my bosses. I know it's random and all, but give me something. Something interesting to talk about. That's not mine. Another simple drone from the internet. Ow! This one's just called Orange Light Show. I mean, it's accurate, but come on. There's a bunch of nifty stuff you can do with the bullet programming. And this is just one of those examples. Oh, good. Not one of mine, but from the internet, so it's gonna suck ass. This is the Butterfly in the Dark, using custom programming to make, well, colorful polygon wings. And this really oppressive, like, chain of explosions. That's just, okay, no. No. Not today. This one's fun. This is a tiny little drone that just zooms at you and tries to hit you with its face. I like this. It's simple and it's good. I think it might be entirely invincible from the front though, which is maybe a little bad, but it's fine. Maybe a bit much health, though. Anyway, Frac Sea is something that I've spent lots of time with. And the sort of collapse of the community disheartened me a little bit. Okay. I'm just gonna show you specific ones then. Wait. The hell? I may have made a mistake. Did not make a mistake, there's just a pretty big pool of enemies. So now we're going to try ones specifically from my creation. Hey, it's that one I was showing you moments ago, with the floating swords. I gave it a health bar. I didn't know much about bullet programming at this time, so any bullets that are emitted are just stock parts in large number. I was just beginning to experiment with the larger programming, though. So, like, the fact that the arms change positions at different health values was brand new to me when I was starting this project. And then, eventually I learned, wait, I can make the health go back up, and immediately made a boss with multiple forms. This is one of various games that proves the point, never let me near a level editor. The central boss is currently invincible until I defeat the little side enemies, which I now did. And it's also really hard to hit the core unless its arms are in the straight position, which they now are. So, we'll do that. Break off a couple more of its arms, which release further weapon capsules. This thing's name was Spin Doctor for a while, just because I tried to incorporate as many, like, revolving mechanics as I could. So even now, when it's busted down to this little thing, it's got a few secrets up its sleeve, like... Come on, do it. Bigger rocket, after you whittle it down a little. And then after you whittle it down a little further, it grows a tail with a sword on the end and starts spinning around some more. The main section is now invincible until you kill the tail. Thanks. I am currently learning Unity and C# for exactly that purpose. To finally bring some of my game ideas to fruition. You're gonna see a lot out of me soon. And now it's just this tiny little head, so it's harmless, right? None of my things are ever harmless. This, I believe, is the final core, though. Sure is. Hey, it's that other one I was showing you with all the limbs. The octopus. And the bullet cloud that's basically impossible to get through because I'm an idiot about bullet programming. Oh, that's right. The other arms are actually invisible. Like, the other arms are not present unless you encounter this at a high enough rank, because that was something I was learning about at the time. Every time you defeat a boss with a particular skill level, you gain a level, which in random mode doesn't mean a whole lot. But, like, right now I'm... hell am I? I'm rank 60. And so I think at rank 80, this thing actually has all 8 arms. Definitely made it far too armorous, though. This one I'm particularly proud of. The Phantom judges its distance between you and it, and anytime it's off the edge of your screen, it turns completely invisible with a particle effect like that. So it just kind of springs into existence, attacks you, and then disappears off your radar completely. And ordinarily, in the editor, if you have a boss that goes completely invincible or completely invisible, it just self-destructs because there's no way to kill it. So technically, there is a piece of this always visible that you can still hit, but I attached it to the player object and put it behind you, so you can't really shoot it with anything. Just as a way to, like, have a completely invisible boss. I also made the particle effect go totally nuts when the thing is dying. Oh yeah, and this laser doesn't turn off until you retreat a fair distance, so it's a way to force you to make it disappear again. Like, nah, get off me. Oh, where'd it go? Where are you? So yeah, when I kill this, it's just gonna trigger that effect a whole bunch as its stealth systems go haywire. Oh, this one I'm so proud of. This is the arsenal. This was my finest work for a very long while. It's got 7 phases, regenerating parts, transforming weaponry, and looks like a pair of angry eyes floating in space, so how can you go wrong? You have to break the shields on both eyes before the nose becomes vulnerable. And then when the nose is vulnerable, you need to concentrate fire on it for 1/5 of the health bar before it'll change forms. This thing took so much work. Damn it. And then an update came out in like 2015 that changed how swords work, and I had to redo it all. Form 2, Laser Nose. Yes, I called it Laser Nose. Those cores out there are all tethered to the nose with invisible parts that I made lightning come from. The reveal on this looks real stupid cool if you can live through it. I was always a bit of an unconventional designer with this game, because I personally like the fast-paced, zippy dogfight mechanics, or zippy dogfight kind of feel. But most people tended to the Denmaku bullet hell kind of thing where you barely move, which, I mean, certainly works, but I really liked the big movements kind of thing. Damn it. This is the nose cannon. Has 2 giant lasers and then also a big explosion where its last position was. So, good luck. And you sort of have to be at an angle to get it in there because the weak point is guarded by the cannon and reverse shield, so you can't really get out of harm's way with this. What's that say? Oh, yes, you're supposed to dodge a lot of stuff, but with bullet hell, it's more about finding the holes in the pattern so that you don't have to move very much to do it. Alright. Now the nose takes on the form of my previous boss, the Spin Doctor, with the arms and fuck pile of bullets. I did learn a bit about bullet programming for this, though, so this one's at least somewhat more elegant. It went through a couple different revisions where at one point it had 3 arms here, but it was just way too hard to hit the core because they didn't straighten out for very long, and it just took a while. Also, I kind of like the 2 arms because it looks like a psycho mustache, which is what I ended up calling this form. I did. In fact, yep. We got there. And then one of the things that I had learned to do just prior to making this was desperation phases. So when the health bar runs out, there's a final explosion, and the nose itself escapes with some, like, oh no, it's damaged particle effects that don't mean anything, and a few more additional attacks that are at least vaguely reminiscent of all of its forms so far. The big bullets exploding into waves of other bullets, by the way, and the long tails on those are what I mean by the bullet programming. It's complicated, but really, really satisfying when you manage to make it do something cool. Damn it. I still think this form has a little too much firepower, but I am also low level because I just spawned this in, like, not having done anything. I mean, I restarted to get here, so, you know. So we'll take an upgrade. We're not facing another arsenal. We're not facing another mana war. Give me the Armstrong. Yeah! Okay, this one's real stupid. But bonus points if you can guess why I called it Armstrong. Bonus points are now moot. Sure, because of its strong legs. At half health, the arms get wibbly and harder to protect, but still kind of look neat. And then as it's dying, the arms get rigid again, so if you kill it at the wrong time, it just kind of flips out and kills you. Which is unfortunate, but it worked for the effect of just flailing arms. This is my greatest work. This is the one that came after the arsenal. It's got art pieces. Big props to the randomly selected music actually having some decency for the reveal on this. In all its forms, you need to defeat one of its arms, except for the last one. Shit. And it will switch to the next set of arms. Each set of arms is massively different, and I am fucking this up a great deal. Current music from Sparkster for the Genesis, I think. No, for the Super Nintendo. This is the one from the Super Nintendo. Sparkster came out on 2 different platforms. Same name, same point in the story. Very, very different games. Actually, I think the Arsenal came after this one. Never mind. And And there's where the name Dark Angel comes from. Because its final form has wings and a whole ass pile of lasers. And this is the only one where you actually need to defeat both wings. Hell. Once you defeat both arms, on that form, the fancy scarf solidifies and becomes a laser emitter, which I was especially proud of. And you can start defeating the body. My only regret is not making the body change color at this phase, but some of the shenanigans that I pulled to make the rest of it work didn't really allow for that at the time. Killing the body will cause that nuke on its chest to explode, which stuns you for a little bit, so if you're not prepared, that'll just wipe you out a little bit. You know, just wipe you out a little bit. Good job, Jer. But once you kill its skeleton underneath, this too has a desperation phase of the head is now just a ship, which I think might have been my favorite reveal I ever made, because it's just staring you in the face the whole time. And most of its weaponry fires backward because it's much faster than you. Usually. Anyway, that's Frac Sea, and I love it. Ooh, okay, one more. This was my first work, as I showed you a little bit before. It's really cheesy. At the time, the charged cannon was like one of the most OP weapons in the game. So people were making forum posts like, "Don't use the charge weapon against my boss." And that seemed stupid to me. So I made this boss smack you out of the sky if you start using the weapon, because I figured out how. Those parts are just invisible unless you're charging the gun, and it just... I got a lot of angry messages about that. It does also bring them visible for a little bit of the beginning phase, but it's actually destroyable at this point. Anyway, this one's called the Chaos Core, because I had recently learned that sword parts actually reflect certain laser parts. So I was trying to dick around with that, and I came up with this, which isn't very good, but it's chaotic, and that's what it was supposed to do. I also threw a self-healing part in there because I didn't realize how bad that would be. And it recovers from damage pretty quick. The lessons we learn. This is the last one, and then I'm moving on to something else. This was meant to mimic the player as best possible. So it's got a charge bomb that it just used over there. It's similarly mobile. But it's overall just a mook. And that's Frac Sea. It's a hell of a thing. I also want to show you. This is the arsenal, by the way. This is the programming core for how the arsenal works. Have a look at how many parts have programming and how many of them have like more programming, or how much programming they have. At the beginning, become shadow, make a health bar. If variable 1 is 2 and variable 3 is false, show yourself, disappear otherwise. This was just a thing to make sure that other programming actually worked. And then, as the health fell, make the various phases appear. And then hard mode happens if it's particularly weak without going through the phases in order, which is possible if you use that charge cannon on it. And it just makes all the phases happen all at once. Good luck. I'm an asshole. With design, anyway. Okay, so now what? Let's see if Black Shift runs. I bet it doesn't. Ooh, that's promising. Oh, the sound. I forgot how bad the sound was. This is not level 0. This is still not level 0. This further is... Oh my god. I appear to have broken it somehow. Because that's one of my custom levels, like, in the middle. Please stop being here. This is another one of those don't let me near level editor levels. I don't know if I'd even be able to do this anymore because I don't entirely remember what the goals were. Nope. Nope. What the fuck? What the hell? No, stop that. Wasn't that where you were supposed to start? I think that is where the player was supposed to start. What the fuck is with that? What? This is not how I remember any of this. No, why? Yay, okay. Hey there. How's it going?
Good. Yeah, you live?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, well, I successfully restarted this level, and I can show you why it's awful of me. That one little bullet that you're forced to release goes over here and, like, starts a horrible chain reaction that kills everyone. It's real good. And by real good, I mean not good. Christ, noise. I forgot how loud this game is. Especially when the level's full of bullets.
Oh, fuck. Is this DOS?
No.
What the fuck is this?
It's a game called Black Shift that I did a number of custom levels for that all blow. And I can't seem to get the game itself to go normally, because trying to play the regular...
Oh, that's how you spell Frand.
Trying... What?
F-R-A-N-D. I didn't know you spelled it differently in your head. I've always heard you say Frand, like, hello, Frand. But I thought you were just trying to say friend oddly. I didn't know you were actually spelling it different in your brain. I'm gonna make some lunch for myself.
Cool. Okay, well, we're not playing Black Shift because it doesn't work. It just throws you into one of my awful levels. Actually, one sec. I'm going to try one of my other awful levels and see if I can kick it out of that. Hey there, Wolfgang. How's it going? Nope, still the wrong level. What the hell? Oh, this doesn't look better. In fact, this looks much worse. Okay. So this... Okay. That volume needs to change. This level actually works. And is relatively sane, too. I bet you weren't expecting that. This is a tile-based puzzle game where your eventual goal is to attempt to destroy those gray blocks up there on the right with the faces. And it came with a level editor, so like every other game with a level editor, I worked my magic. My terrible, terrible magic. This level is about navigating away from stuff as efficiently as possible, because you're going to be followed by explosions and bullets. Isn't that great? In this case, you're being followed by an enemy.
A Balon.
And also an explosion.
It's a Balon.
And if you're not fast enough, those kill you as well.
Why would you play a game like this?
Oh, the game wasn't like this. This is a level I made.
Of course it is.
I can't play a level. I can't play a game like this. Because for whatever reason, trying to... Oh, now it's working. Never mind.
Oh, you were wrong. These meat sticks are quite good.
No, I just don't care for them. So this is the actual first level. Teaches you about keys. Teaches you about bullets that you travel faster than.
Teaches you that the bullets are 1 pixel wide.
Yep. Black Shift is a gem that hasn't aged well, I think.
ahead and look up the definition of gem. Who's trying to call me? Don't try to call me. I
See,
don't love you.
This is my least favorite part of this game. Fire this bullet upward, try to move upward. You can sometimes shoot yourself in the back because you move that much faster than the bullets.
Hooray!
Puzzles! Okay, I actually forgot how boring this game is.
Why are you playing it?
I forgot how boring it was. Like, I looked at my folder of games and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember having fun with this. Threw it in here to show off today. And then, turns out I hate it. It's also not available on the internet anymore, so that's another reason I keep it around. Let's take a mind break.
Soup.
I'm gonna switch to fuck.
You do?
Oh, this is 4-3. I'm a moron.
Yeah. Centered.
What?
What?
What was that all about?
Oh.
So, I think I brought over the wrong game.
Uh-oh.
Sure did.
What game is this?
This is Hyperbolic Games, a traditional two-dimensional games, but in much higher dimensional statuses.
Oh.
So, like, the straight lines in this Sudoku go this way.
So it's one of those games that makes you go, oh, neat, but nobody actually plays.
Yeah, essentially. I brought it over to have a look at it. Like Hyperbolic Pool, for instance.
Way to sell it. You should seen me playing Tomb Raider last night. I only played for like an hour on stream though.
Oh?
But 15 minutes of that was like trying to get past this one jump area.
Oh my god, which way do I move my mouse to? There we go.
Where this scramble-upable wall was partially hidden by a vine, and it was very like dark, so you couldn't see the white relief on it anyways. And it just pissed me off.
Whee! This is really stupid, but I wanted to show you anyway.
I forgot how good this soup tastes.
Yeah, I definitely brought over the wrong game. I was thinking of Taurus games, which is much simpler geometry, but the same kind of gimmick. Like a word search where you can get a word that goes this way because of how the geometry of a torus works. Stop hitting me!
You know what's really
You
good?
came back from work just to abuse me.
You know
How
what's really
dare
good?
you? What?
Have you ever heard of Poco Man?
Like Pikachu?
P-O-C-O Man.
No.
Look it up! It's really cool.
I
Live and N5. Look it up in Google and Stereo Vision.
I had my own plan, Ben.
I'm leaving in a little bit.
What the hell's Pokemon?
I only have half of an hour of lunchness.
Oh, it's Sokoban.
No, it's Pokemon.
Sokoban.
I will murder you.
Okay. Pokemon is ready.
Do you work tonight?
I do.
Okay.
What does Pokemon do that isn't Sokoban?
I don't know what Sokoban is.
Block pushing puzzles, just like this.
Pokemon's a block pushing puzzle, but it's not Sokoban. It's called Pokemon.
I think I know why it might be called Pokemon.
Why?
Because it sounds like Sokoban.
I have no idea.
Well, that's interesting. The hell else was I doing? Oh, you guys all familiar with the Steam classic Spelunky?
Steam Classics. What is your stream about today?
Whole bunch of indie stuff that I like. That I wanted to play, but not for 3 hours apiece. You'd know if you looked at the advertisement.
Well, you should play The Curse of Atlantis. I was at fucking work. If you want indie stuff, you should play The Curse of Atlantis.
Not that kind of indie stuff.
Nobody likes Spelunky. Except for a lot of people.
Yeah. So yeah, the popular Steam game Spelunky. This is the original. So that's fun. Whee!
Do you know how I got the name Spelunky?
I do not.
The game is dedicated to Derek Hughes' grandmother, and Derek Hughes' grandmother's nickname was Spelunky. That is a patented false fact.
Yeah, Where did I put... There it is. More things that... More reasons I shouldn't be letting here in a level editor.
Is this your level?
Yep. You get to do battle with these two giant spiders in this closed room full of lava. Or acid, or whatever I made it. If and when they make their happy asses down here. Okay, well, fine. I managed to escape them. Whatever.
Hey, who's in Tootin here? Who's watching here?
We've got Blackness. We've got Egg Tart. We've got Howling Good Games, friend. All right.
Do you guys not have jobs? What the fuck?
Toodles, Blackness.
I'm one to talk. As of last week, I didn't have one.
Oh, I fucked up.
Are they saying words to me?
Streaming is Howling Good Games' job.
Oh, well, fine, yeah.
Why am I saying your full name out? Wolfgang. What's wrong with me?
Wolfgang? Oh, Wolfgang.
There. Use the boulder to kill those things. Open the treasure chest to get another treasure chest. Because that makes sense, and I can do that in the editor.
What a douchey looking commercial.
Commercial?
Commercial!
Shit!
Champions Rise. It's EA Sports FIFA 19 commercial featuring douchebaggery. Seriously.
Well, now what the fuck do I do?
This is your level.
Yeah, and the boulder didn't work correctly. The way that I made it work. There we go. Yeah, the boulder just kind of stopped halfway between where I needed it to be and where it comes from. And it's not supposed to do that.
Connect.
Connect to what?
It's not connecting to chat.
Aw. Why the heck not?
My telephonic is not connecting to the chat.
Oh my god, stop.
Was that an important phone call?
No. I'm getting a whole bunch of spam today, and I'm not sure why.
Beef stick. Beef stick.
One
Connect, you fart fucker.
One more.
That's right. That's the one who farts fucks. Or fucks farts.
Shit. Please grab the ladders.
Well, you know what they say.
What?
You don't know what they say?
I don't know how many times I'm gonna fall for that same joke. No, it was not my conscience calling. Conscience calling. Look, my conscience calling was adding checkpoints to this.
Excuse
Because it didn't have them originally. But then I realized that that was too awful of me.
God, what if we just got naked on stream once?
We could do that once.
It's just like, hey, we're no longer going to be on Twitch. This is our swan song.
This is our schlong song.
Yeah.
I did it.
You did, tit.
Now there's 4 more.
Gih. Gih. Gih.
All right, doodles.
Bye-bye!
Bye. I really liked making test of skill kind of levels. Or test of game knowledge, I guess. Shit. Shit. Okay. That hurt a lot. like the fact that you can make these cobwebs go away without getting all the way in them. That's a bad place for that. Need to go get that pickaxe, which I left all the way over there behind a man trap, so that's great. There. That will revive me now if I die. And there's this whole bit that's basically a giant enemy rush. With a couple of fancy trickeries like murderifying all those giant fish that are otherwise just scenery in order to get a whole ass pile of equipment. I missed the level editor in New Spelunky. I want that back. Shit! Feck. Anyway, you get the idea. But yeah, old Spelunky is basically current Spelunky. Wait. You're fucking what? The hell? Sorry, I got a notification. Meh. I was so ecstatic when the modern Spelunky came to PC, because this is all I had for a while. It was console exclusive. And then I found out that it didn't have a level editor, and I was sad. I'm gonna steal from the shop real quick. Hope you don't mind. Gonna stomp on your head and murder you. Gonna take your gun. Great. You're much easier to kill in this version. Just part of why I do it. The gun doesn't fire nearly as quickly, though. Roll. See, significantly easier to kill them in this version. The hell are the damsels, though? I need some health. Good. You're stuck. You get to live. Well, that was easy. Time to get myrtleized by a whole bunch of shopkeepers, though, because I've killed so many of their brethren. Well, I died. Hack! So, Spelunky is, as it was, deadly. Okay, who's still with me? Okay. Don't remember what the difference is. Gotta switch back to that, though. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. Gonna do a little bit of these guys. Yay! Okay. In my indie collection recently has been a whole lot of stuff from Daniel Linson. Linson. And he's been making a whole bunch of these cute little, like, ow, there's something in the dark. And now there's not. Daniel Linson is a very interesting developer. All this stuff is so very different and charming and everything else. This is Roguelite, which is a roguelite that functions with relation to light and light generating things. I have a bow that fires flaming arrows that I can draw to get a little bit of a light boost, but it goes out eventually. I've got very limited health, very limited arrows, and I'm descending into something? Ow, spikes. I died. I think that guy on the left killed me. I haven't played very much of this, but it's really, really charming. And I have thoroughly enjoyed what I have played. Not today, roaming whatever the hell you are. Those were spikes. I noticed they were spikes at the final moment that it mattered that they were spikes. I didn't mean to buy those. Oh well. Ow, why? Shit. Yeah, that wasn't going to go well. Yeah, a little bit. Towerfall is also another one of those games that's from an old indie developer that finally got there. It's super exciting to me because I played a whole bunch of that guy's earlier stuff. I don't personally care for Towerfall, but it's nice, is the point. Basically just trading arrows for money at this point. Ah, no. Please no steppy. I died. Is this a surefire way in? I guess so. I guess this is always generated the same. Ow. That was a bad decision. That's just a dead end. That's neat. Heart. Good. God damn it. That was a total guess. Ow. Oh god. I have nothing. Fuck. I am noticing a little bit of kick backward that the bow launch midair gives me, and I'm curious if there's a way to abuse that. But, you know, that's just my break every game that I encounter nature. Egg tart. Has this been entertaining? I noticed that. Oh shit. I'm glad you're still with me, I guess is what I'm getting at. I feel like maybe this got a bit boring when I went all into stuff. But it's alright. We're learning. I have 25 coins. I believe I'm about to die any moment because I can't see a shit. Oh, there we go. Haha. Rewarded. Oh my god. Inexplicably, level 4. Starting to get into situations where you need to kill multiple guys with one. That's not even a little worth it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want money. A brief synopsis of working at Walmart. Is that a flying enemy? Oh, that's terrifying. I always love additional examples of how low-bit graphics can truly catch you. Like, how can that be scary? It doesn't look gross at all. It's like, that's not the point. It's a flying skeleton. None of those went the right way. Level 5. It's very dark. I am likely to be eaten by a grue. Ooh, I killed that guy with the rebound. That's cool. Glad to hear it. Shit! I jumped too far into his hood. Well, I can afford a bunch of stuff, maybe. God, what's my most valuable? I always prioritize the methods of making further money. I don't know if that's necessarily the correct choice in video games, but like, I feel like it'll work out better if I don't increase my strength and just... Because, like, I'm already at 12 coins. 16 coins. I haven't even left level 1 because, you know, because the lanterns that I have encountered are now more valuable. Ow! Why? Why? Wait. I can't just keep shooting that, can I? Okay, I'm definitely prioritizing the money from skulls. Shit. Yeah, no, I definitely can't get lanterns more than once. Where the hell am I going? I think that was just a dead end, wasn't it? Ah, okay, so no, that's not lantern. That's not money from skulls, that's money from enemies. Which skulls are not? I really kind of like the snippets of story that may be present in roguelikes. Or not even story, but like world building in some cases. There's a roguelike that I've played for years and years on my phone called Shattered Pixel Dungeon. It's a fork of the original Pixel Dungeon, which is in some ways harder, some ways easier. I should play that sometime. That's something I could definitely sink hours into. And have. I've played that game and lost over 900 times. But like, there's snippets of world building information that you get if you examine the boss creatures and enemies. Like there's a rat king that exists, which implies that there is some manner of rat kingdom. If you examine one of the later bosses, it mentions the dwarven city and a king that told his congress that he would be able to grant them all immortality if they went through with this ritual. But that was a lie, and he ended up just stealing all of their souls to seal his own immortality. It's like, there's not really a story, but the fact that that's part of the world in which this takes place is like, oh shit. It's a whole lot of horrible bullshit that occurred in this little roguelike world. But there's no one to exposit at you at length. So there's not really a story in the traditional sense. Ow! Rude. I've made a mistake. I've made a terrible mistake. Shit. there's a particular sub-item you can acquire in that game that using it summons a ghost to assist you. The ghost is implied to be a previous adventurer. And if you summon that ghost for help on boss fights, he has additional lore insights like how can he still be alive, or like that bit about the dwarven king that stole immortality. That's a ghost comment. There's a prisoner. Part of the dungeon used to be a prison, and one prisoner just hung around and made it his lair essentially, and promptly went mad from all the dark energy surrounding the place. And the ghost comments on how that prisoner could have like the crimes that prisoner actually committed. The rest of that is given to you in examining the prisoner, but the ghost has further insight, and it's very weird. It's very neat. Made a mistake. Don't have any arrows left. Gonna die. Ooh, those are arrows. Haha. Well, I can't collect them if they're in the spikes, you butts. Stop walking into spikes. I can't see jack. Found health, though, apparently. Somehow managed to get down a further level. Definitely going to die. Damn it. Here, let me check that real quick, actually. My current play statistics on Shattered Pixel Dungeon are 934 losses, 13 wins. I've been playing it, or I've had it on some of my phones for well over over 3 years? 4 years? I forget when I started playing it. Ah, I almost got both of those. Well, that was quick. I got trapped with some bad jumping. Well, I would advise you to get some rest, but you're presently my audience, it seems. No, I know that I can tell there's more people here, but thank you for chatting with me. Ow! Fuck, didn't notice those. Yeah, that's effective arrowing. Arrowing. Sure, whatever, just make up words. Ooh. Oh, good. Good. Several of you, and I am out of arrows. That's bad. Also spikes. That's further bad. I see you. I see you. I mean, I saw both of you, but I couldn't... Whatever. Lantern. Please actually shoot the correct direction. He said to the game, despite it being literally his own fault. Anyway, this is super charming, and it was only meant to be a sample, but then I just kind of got engrossed in it. I missed that a whole lot. Well, there was another of Daniel's games I wanted to show off. That I think after my next death I will switch to. Probably to round out the stream. Ow! Oh, I'm out of arrows. Uh-oh. Aha! Fuck. I even processed what that was before I stepped on it. Dang it. Additional coins from lanterns, so now I'll make 4 per lantern, and there's a bunch of lanterns, so that'll probably work out. Okay. So this is a really cool little game. Once again by Daniel Wilson. That, this is friggin' neat. Just gonna leave it on the desktop for you. I really love this. I'm a guy. I fucking love this. This is so goddamn great. Wait. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, it does eventually open its own window inside a larger window. I kind of wish it kept doing that for the whole game, but I understand why they didn't. But I'm a vampire hunter. I have these 6 stakes that I can shoot into vampires. I can also shoot the stakes into the edges of the window. I can shrink the window, but I cannot grow it again. Things that are off-screen do not occur, like those cannons. Ow. Do. Anyway, as a vampire hunter, I need to go and defeat various vampires. The various vampires have complete control over the screen. So that guy's dead. And now I'm reduced to 5 stakes at maximum. Every so often the game goes back and does this again. Which I still think is super neat. Dang it. I really love this effect. Daniel Linson, keep making games. Aha! And now I have 4 stakes. Did you really just damn Daniel? I'm sure glad the pixel tips of those spikes don't kill me. Heck. Heck. Shit. Uh-oh. Haha. Dang it. Dang it, no. There we go. Oh yeah, now we've got invincible bats. Because that's fun. Can't protect against that, though. Ah! Yeah! Why didn't that kill them? That was weird. Bats are always the worst. Doesn't matter what game or genre you're playing. Bats are the worst. Shit. Doesn't matter how many window stakes you use, the vampires always override you. God damn it. Shit. Oh yeah, now I am down to 2 stakes, so that's great. That is certain death. Fuck. Damn it. Rude. Aha. Oh, hey. Thank you for the raid. I thought you just went live, you booper. Thank you for the boys. Shit. It's very cramped in this window right now. Cripes. Damn it. I always forget how exactly to do this one. Yeah, because that's not high enough. There's just no good friggin' way to... Brrr. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. And you thought Windows was frustrating before vampires invaded it. That's kind of what this dev does. Daniel Linson is dope concepts for a game. Aw, toodles, Fran. Now see, I need to pin that up there without having this corner pinned, which is difficult. In fact, almost impossible. Why did I do that? have a way to... I don't have a way to leave that one in there. I don't remember how to do this one. Might be enough. Of course, I ruined it now by pinning the left edge. God dang it. Damn it. I have beaten this before, which means I did figure this out once. Once. Might be enough. It's not enough. Son of a bitch. I need to be able to have those cannons on screen at the same time as the blocks that they're shooting down here. And in order to do that, I need to pin the top of the window open. But this ceiling is not high enough to do that. Why does it look like the apartment is sinking? Why did this get all ruined? Why does this look... Oh, I made it worse. I've made it so much worse. There, that's somewhat better. Do you see my conundrum? What's occurring to me is that perhaps I can use the roof up there in order to pin this, but I don't know how to do that because I keep having to also lose my other pin. I definitely beat this once. I just don't remember how. Damn it. I went outside the actual window that time. Yeah, the very left one is also too short. Wait, hang on. I was massively overcomplicating it and I just solved it. Haha! Sometimes I'm smart. Damn it. I'm having some kind of brain problem today, I think. No, I need to stick the left side without doing that. Or stick the lower part without sticking the left. I think. What the hell did I do the first time? Because it was working. There we go. Ah, shit. think this is our second to last vampire. Oh, Jesus. Now! Fuck. Ugh. I don't think I should have survived that one. Whee. Okay. And now we have but a single stake. Fuck. Nah. Pinned it too high. Damn it. Damn it. Shit. I think I may be doing this wrong. But when has that ever stopped me? Damn it! I really regret that. These move faster than me, don't they? Shit! Fuck. Yay. Shit. can't actually clear my stakes this level, can I? Because if I do, it's just... Yeah, I can't clear my stakes this level. Because I only have the one! Ooh, that's ominous. Ah, you, oh my, oh my. You're not like the other vampires. Ah, you're very not like those other vampires. Yay! That is having a bad time in there. Holy shit. Goodbye. Alright, well. Yay. And now I gotta get ready to go to work. So, thanks for hanging out with me. Egg Tart and friends. Wolfgang. Everybody else who was hanging out in the chat. Lurking. There's no shame in lurking. Drop a follow, though. Hey there, Werepup. I will try. I keep getting shifts through the most boring part of the day, so with any luck, I have fun co-workers. And I think I'm on shift with Deb again, who is actually quite fun. So, there we go. Thanks for hanging out with me for Indie Madness. I finished that just in time. And, yeah. Join the Discord if you're not already part of it. Follow the channel because it helps. Get notified of when we're live next. And, let's see. Is there anything else? Our big Sunday stream's coming up on Sunday. I mean, it's not really that much bigger than our other streams. It's our normal stream. I'm bad at sign-offs without Ben. Bye, everybody.